physically inside me, and somehow I pushed him out.
Is this our guy?
He was perfect.
Lucas Jacob Korn, 6 pounds, 7 ounces, born exactly.
You know, we were so excited. We had the car seat, you know, everything that they told us we had to have. You know, okay, we got the car seat, we got this. I think we kept saying to ourselves, like, are we, like, prepared to have this kid? Like, is he, like, is this really ours? Are people actually letting us leave with him?
It was a mid-December evening in a room of heavy breathing when I looked into a little baby's eyes. Like the ships that sail the ocean, he had captured my...
We're tired parents, but just thrilled. You know, he was awesome. He was the cutest little baby. He was pretty normal at that time, pretty typical.
Prayed to God that everything was fine.
And then maybe a few months later, you know, it was like 3-4 months, and we were like, oh, you know, he's really not starting to sleep yet. He's like still not starting to sleep. People are telling us, well, by 4 months, by 5 months, oh, he'll be sleeping 4 hours at least, or 5 hours at least. And Lucas wasn't sleeping. He was not sleeping. His eye contact was incredible. He had the best eye contact of any baby I've ever seen.
They'll learn much more than we'll know and think to myself.
He was developing normally. He was reaching all his milestones. We never thought that there was anything wrong with him. We just thought he had a sleep... I mean, eventually we said he has a sleep disorder. This is a serious sleep disorder. We don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have to get him treated for a sleep disorder. But that's all we thought it was. He sat on time. He crawled on time. He rolled over on time. He ate.
He smiled.
He smiled. He had eye contact. He giggled. He reached. He played. Everything was typical.
Did we talk about the vaccines last time?
No.
Okay. The first year there are 5 different vaccines, and they need basically 3 doses of each of them.
So it's 15 shots. 15 different
shots.
Whoa.
Yeah. We have a combined vaccine we can use that combines 3 of them into one syringe. The DTP, the polio, and the hepatitis B.
That's the one that's associated with autism?
No.
That's the rubella, mumps, rubella one, right?
Measles, mumps, rubella.
Yeah.
Well, it's not associated with autism. That's bad press. But it's bad press.
It was at the 10-month schedule with the doctor that he got the DTaP and another vaccine, or 6 vaccines all in one time. Whatever he had developed, it just didn't go any farther. He didn't develop any farther from there. He stopped developing completely.
Around 12 months, we started to have some real concerns.
His eye contact just stopped. He didn't have any. He just didn't. He didn't look at us. He didn't answer to his name. I would say Lucas and Lucas 100 times, loud, low, from this angle, and he would not turn around.
Lucas. 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 You're like staring into space.
I knew. I knew he had autism. Inside I knew. I would never have said it. I would have never said the word out loud. But when he wasn't responding, and I remember testing it downstairs, he was playing, and I was behind him saying, Lucas, 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 and then I said to my father, maybe he's deaf. I hope he's deaf.
Right.
I really prayed that he was deaf. And then I went upstairs, and I rang a little bell, and he just turned around like it was, you know, he heard it. It was like upstairs, I tapped a glass really lightly. He has super strong hearing, super acute. When Lucas was diagnosed that day, I felt like everything in life had slipped away in one moment. I can't explain what it felt like. I felt like I wasn't attached to my body. I felt like the person in front of me was just like, I felt like he was moving back. I felt like I was going under anesthesia. That's what it felt like everything was just going away from me. And I felt as if my life was over completely. I felt an extreme sense of loss. I felt like I had lost my son, the one that I had waited for so many years, and now they tell me he's never even going to really know anything that's going on. He's not even going to really ever know me. He's never going to be able to talk. He's not going to be able to take care of himself. He's never going to have eye contact. My son is never going to look at me. He's never going to know how much I love him. He's never going to know how much I love him. That was the loss that I felt, and it was extreme.
It was so surreal. It was as if someone had just told us, like, okay, I'm pulling the floor out from underneath you. You're going to fall down to the basement. But here's a sticky pad with the name of a speech therapist. And that's going to make it okay. And I remember taking the number. And I was like, is there anything else we should do? Who do we talk to?
And every dream we had seemed shattered. In a moment hopes were gone. And it felt just like the whole wide world had left us all alone. But we pulled ourselves together and we made one last request. And Lily held her baby sister close. Then we put fate to the test. And I said, you're gonna make it. And we won't believe what all the doctors say. You're gonna make it. And we'll go through this together day by day. Yeah.
I began to research a lot. I researched every day, every night, every minute of the day. And I found different things that I thought could help my son, and I tried things, and I trained myself in things. You know, I was trained as a teacher before, but I trained myself in applied behavioral analysis. I trained myself in my husband in Sunrise. We trained ourselves in various modalities to help his.
We go down to a foreign land. Dive through the clouds. You hold the guiding light in your This must be all that there is. Time come much more beautiful. You could show me places that my eyes have never seen. I'm following you. Where are you taking me to? You could be.
Everything helped a little bit. He was still autistic. And he still had very abnormal behaviors. I came across Amy Lansky's book called Impossible Cure. I had read so many books. That was the first book that I ever saw on homeopathy and autism. It made so much sense to me. I got on the internet the next day, and I found Dr. Luke. I just saw him, and his whole demeanor, everything about him was peace. It was peaceful. He was a peaceful man. And that's what I want. I want peace in my life. And he just was calm, and he listened, and he didn't judge, and he didn't tell me I was this, or this was this, and that was this, and this is this way, and he just listened, and he just let me tell him everything that happened. And then he said, oh, I have a remedy to begin. I said, now, right now, you know the remedy already? I saw a change from the first time I gave him a remedy. As soon as I gave it to him, his eye contact came back. It was very surreal. Like, even making a remedy, there's nothing in it. It's like a tiny little sack black pill, and you put it in, it's really small, like the size of a poppy seed, and you put it in water, and then you take one drop from that, and you put it in another thing of water, and then you take one drop of water, and you put it on Lucas's tongue. When I first started doing it, I was really like, how could this could possibly, no. I couldn't believe, it would be very hard to believe that if somebody just saw it the way that we do it. It's very unbelievable. But then I saw it right away, and I was like, let me second guess. Like, I started to second guess myself, like, well, maybe it was something else, or maybe it's just a fluke. He got better for a few days. He seems a little bit better today. He's a little bit more related, his eye contact. But he's not cured, so I'll just keep going, and we'll see if this really is something. Because I'm not a jump on every bandwagon kind of girl. I really have to see proof to continue something. And when we got deeper, then we changed his remedy to a remedy that's called tarantula. And it's a spider tarantula. Spanish spider. And that was really apparent, the change. We gave it to him, and by the next week he said his first word. And, my son was totally nonverbal. He was almost 5 years old. Just one day after that, he just said no. I said something, and he said no. With the whole, with meaning, with contempt, and I was like, what? And, I knew that it was a remedy that did that. He went from no language to saying no, to singing the alphabet, to singing happy birthday. He is now starting to sleep. That's like huge for us.
Do you want to go out?
My son wasn't even with us.
Are you hungry? Do you want yum yum?
He was classically. He had all the classic symptoms. He flapped. He had no eye contact. He was in another world. He was always a happy kid, though. He was always happy, even when he was at his worst. He's a jovial kid. Always was. So that always gave us hope. That there was something in there that we could get to. And I feel like we've gotten to it. It's definitely there. It's definitely coming out. He's coming out. He's coming out of what he was. Lucas can read.
Under the
Sun.
there is a tree.
Lucas is very smart, and I always knew that he was. I always knew that he was brilliant inside. Couldn't see that. Couldn't see those things.
We have a lot of hope, and we've seen some amazing things. And with those amazing things is going to be Lucas's recovery. It's going to be Lucas's cure. At least that's what we hope for.
See?
He's come a long way since we started with Dr. Luke. He's not cured, but he's a lot better. And I'm hoping that it's going to be a cure, or that he's going to make his way to a cure. And I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. I think it's going to take a long time. I've seen a lot of things for autism. Not for everything, but for autism, I've seen a lot of things. And this is like 1,000 times more powerful. I mean, it's one drop of water that I give my son, and all of a sudden he's running around the house doing something totally different. I think it's most powerful medicine on the planet.
I love you.
So now we lay them down to sleep.